Hey folks, Keough here with a new training video for you. This is Saturday's training. You're going to see me do 10 sets of 2 with 270 pounds, all paused, and then a sort of longer set that I just did for the heck of it. This is the end of my modified version of Small Up Junior, the second week of my second go-around on this program. I've taken one rep off of this day, and I've done it to even out the exertion on the week. So if you've been following my videos, you know that I've added one repetition to the first 2 days, which for me are usually pretty easy, and I have taken one away from the last 2 days in order to make them easier, and I felt so much better on this day. I didn't feel like I accumulated a lot of RPE 10s. I felt like these were all RPE 9 or below, which I was really happy about, so I was happy with the exertion here. My goal was really to bring down the exertion for my higher intensity sets with my modification, and I feel like I've done that, and I feel like that'll make the program sustainable for me up until the meet, because I'm going to be looking at running it hopefully at least another couple of times. I do want to say that for today, what I worked on and what I've been working on with higher intensity bench pressing through this cycle is bearing or loading weight where it's supposed to be bared or loaded. And by that I mean that, in my opinion, with my style of bench press, there are only 3 weight-bearing or weight-loaded points on your body when you bench press. Okay, number 1 is in your hands, obviously. The second one is on your traps in your setup, and the third one is your feet making contact with the floor and pressing through the floor. Most mistakes in one's setup and in one's bench press come from bearing weight or loading weight where it's not supposed to be loaded. The first one is in your glutes. Okay, when I set up, my definition of a tight setup means flex glutes that are just barely touching the bench. Okay, I don't want my glutes to be resting on the bench. I want them to be making contact with the bench, and it's important to know that distinction. Second thing I'm doing a much better job of this cycle is when I pause my bench, I am not resting the bar on my chest. I'm staying tight at bottom, I'm staying flexed, and that bar is just touching my chest, okay? A lot of people conflate a paused bench press with a bench press in which the bar is resting on your chest, okay? The bar comes to a dead stop, and it pauses, but it doesn't necessarily have to rest, and you don't want it to rest. You want to stay as tight and as flexed as possible in that bottom position. The analogy that I would give is imagine that you have puppies on your chest, and you do not want to kill those puppies, so you want to let that bar come to a rest as lightly as possible. And so that's what I've been working on this cycle. I've been trying to load my weight on my traps and through my feet on my bench press, and I've done a much better job of it. I think it's allowed me to produce a lot more force off my chest this cycle, so I felt good about my pauses. Anyway, what you're seeing right here is just me kind of goofing off and repping 135 out. After I did my main sets, I figured I'd mess around with some touch and go bench pressing. I never do touch and go, so I was all out of my groove on all of these and kind of all over the place. But just figured I'd do one set with 135. Ended up getting 50 reps and was pretty spent after that. I didn't think I had any more in me, even though the bar is still moving fast. My arms were basically jello after the 50th rep. But anyway, I've always been good at rep work on my bench. My max has always been what sucks, so I have to figure out a way to reverse that, or either make sure that the rep work equals up with my projected max. Anyway, keep checking in, more videos for you very soon.